Hi, I'm Phil Strouth with P. Strouth LLC representing Carolina Material Handling in Greensboro, North Carolina. Today I'm going to start the first part of our caster series, and we're going to start with what we consider our light duty industrial casters and wheels. For the most part, these casters and wheels are used in industrial material handling applications, OEM applications, and provide a range of capacity between 200 pounds to 350 pounds. And these casters are sold in different plate sizes, and then there's also a lot of stems that you can get for these as well, stem casters such as your threaded stem. I'll probably go over a whole video on just stem casters later, but for now, just to know that you can get them that way. These are also available in zinc plated. These are zinc plated casters, NSF approved. We also do this exact series in stainless steel for pharmaceuticals and food service, that type of thing. Use a lot of these casters. So to begin with, we'll just talk about the basics of a light duty caster. What we consider a light duty caster actually has a double ball raceway, and you can't really see that in there, but there's two layers of ball bearings that this swivel rotates on, and it also has a metal dust cap cover to keep debris and stuff out. On the stainless steel models, there's also a black rubber gasket seal that fits in there as well. So it's now there's also some that have a single ball race, but we really try to work more with the heavier duty, more robust casters. And the way these go together, certainly you just select a swivel or rigid caster, and then the wheel selection is really important, and we've got about 40 different wheel styles that we can put in these casters. This, for instance, is a solid polyurethane wheel with a Delrin plastic bearing. Now, these solid polyurethane wheels are used in pharmaceutical, food service, where there's washdown applications. They're impervious to chemicals and solvents and things of that nature, so they can be washed down. The bearing won't go bad because it's got a plastic bearing. But there's also many other types of wheels. But basically, what we do, we have an axle. The wheel goes in just like that. The axle locks in there. This is a standard axle, and then we just impact the nut down and cinch it tight. This axle does not have a zerk grease fitting. We can put them with zerk grease fittings, but typically for this series of caster, you really don't need the zerk fitting because they're either sealed bearings or Delrin bearings. Now, the exception to that is in these Phenolic wheels, which is a hard black Phenolic mesurated wheel. We can get these with a roller bearing inside of them, and for those you do want a zerk fitting on your axle. But this is a heavier duty wheel. The different top plate sizes that are standard typically with these light duty is 2 3/8 by 3 5/8 with a 1 3/4 by 3 inch bolt hole spacing on this. And I think this uses a 5/16 attaching bolt. And of course, this is the rigid to that, same bolt hole pattern, same top plate size. As we're talking, these are polyurethane on polyolefin wheels with sealed precision ball bearings in them, and they've got thread guards. So it's a nice looking wheel for institutional applications. They're non-marking. All of these wheels are non-marking. This one can mark the floor if it's skidded, but for the most part they're non-marking. You also have a top plate in this series that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, and it's about a 2 by 3 1/4 inch bolt hole spacing. And you can see these are slotted bolt holes, so you have some room to play if you're mounting to an existing top plate or bolt hole centers. And these use you can 5/16 or 3/8 attaching bolt. And then typically one of the other sizes for the top plates are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. with a 2 5/8 by 2 3/4 bolt holes. These aren't slotted quite as much, so you need to make sure on your bolt hole centers that they would match up to that. The larger top plates give you a little more stability, but you can go with any of these different top plates. So the wheels, again, the wheels are a big selection part of this. We really can start in this series of casters with a 2.5-inch wheel and even go up to a 6-inch wheel. Now all of these wheels in this series are 1 1/4-inch wide tread width. And with the 200 or the 2.5-inch wheel, you get probably around a 200-pound capacity. As you go up to 3-inch, you're about 250. 4-inch, 300, 5-inch, 350. These are the 5-inch. With this style wheel, this is a thermoplastic rubber wheel, so it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit softer tread. It's good for hospitals and doesn't make quite as much noise as some of the others. But they all have ball bearings, good wheels, and you can look on our website at www.heavy-dutycaster.com, and we give a pretty good description of the different type of wheels if you don't know what you need. Now in these series of casters we can also do brakes, a couple different kinds, but this is probably your most common. This is just called a top lock brake. It brakes over top of the wheel. When it's mounted to your cart, you just step on it, apply the brake, and the wheel doesn't move. Step off of it and the wheel moves again. We also have these with a total lock brake, which actually when you hit the pedal it locks the swivel in and it locks the wheel at the same time. It's called a total lock caster, same series. It just allows a lot stronger braking system. The stainless steel version of these, again, these are all zinc plated. They're corrosion resistant. They're not corrosion proof. The stainless steel is made of 304 stainless steel, so those will work in any application where you have chemicals and wash down applications. We can ship these casters really from all across the country depending on where you're at, how quickly you need them. We keep a large supply of this series casters in the 3, 4, and 5-inch wheels in stock in Greensboro. We can also ship out of Georgia, Ohio, Michigan, Texas, California, Washington State. So we have a lot of shipping locations as well. You can check out this information at www.pstrouth.com or also on our new website at www.heavy-dutycaster.com. And next time we'll be looking at the next series up, considered what we consider a medium duty caster. But for now, this is the light duty caster. Any questions, visit our website, call us, email us. We'll be glad to discuss your application. Till next time, thank you.